Guess who's Bizak? Fly Free Sports. Another week, man. Co-host Ben. Yes, sir. What's going
What's
on,
up?
Ben?
You know, me and my technical difficulties again. I'm on my work laptop. I hope it don't find me.
We all good. We all good, man.
Yeah.
Hopefully, as the stream goes, the stream goes. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So,
There you go.
um, interesting times. Of course, we're gonna start off with the conference finals in the NBA. Um,
hmm
it's been a very one-sided series for the most part until game 4. Um, I predicted Minnesota to win the series, so I'm glad it's still going on. for whatever that's worth. I've been wrong a lot in these playoffs, so for whatever that's worth, I'm glad. Uh, it was good to see, some of the adjustments Minnesota made. One being Anthony Edwards guarding Luka more
hmm
as
Yep.
opposed to guarding Kyrie, because that just didn't make any sense. Foot speed and all that stuff. It just, I want to see them play less drop coverage than they have been playing over the first few games. They did that a little bit less in game 4, so maybe that's an adjustment they'll keep doing,
hmm
and they'll go from there. But who do you have in tonight's game for game 5?
You know, it's a tough call. Um, I think if it comes down to cat. If we get a good cat, Minnesota wins.
Mm-hmm.
If we get the cat that we got for most of the Denver series, it's over. I think that's what we know that Ant's gonna show up.
Mm-hmm.
We know he's gonna go off. He's a nuclear bomb. I think it's gonna come down to the supporting cast whether they're gonna show up or not.
Mm-hmm.
So, what is the likelihood of that happening? Cat's too inconsistent. I don't think we're gonna get a good cat tonight. I think the series is over.
Fair assessment. Um, yeah, I agree with that for the most part. I do think Mike Conley is due for a 15, at least a 15-point games at some point.
Mhm.
Nas Reed, I believe Nas Reed, he always seems to play better at home. So I'm expecting him to play well tonight. And Jaden McDaniels has been probably the most consistent player in the series outside of Anthony Edwards for Minnesota
Mhm.
in the series. So
Yep.
Jaden McDaniels has been very big, man. And he's one of the guys I looked at a couple of years ago. I was waiting for him to develop, and I knew he had this kind of game. And I
Mhm.
was just waiting on him to develop. Him and his brother. They both hoopers, man. I like both of their games.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I think Minnesota will win tonight. I do believe they will get it back to Dallas. Now from there, I don't know, but I do believe in them enough to win. Just from the standpoint of, I don't see them losing 3 home games. I could be wrong, you know what I mean? But
Mhm.
losing 3 home games in a series is crazy. I know Denver just did it last round, but to have lightning strike twice like that, man, that's I just don't see. I think they'll give their fans one win at home at least.
Yeah. Well, it's important for us to remember their last 8 games, they're 3-5.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
this is not. They don't have a winning record. I think they have a 500 record after the first round of playoffs. So
crazy.
that's something that we've got to consider. No one has ever come back from 3-0. So
Hmm.
that's something else that we really need to consider.
Yeah,
And I don't think that I don't think that Luca will permit Dallas to choke in that way. So
no,
yeah, so yeah, so I think it's a foregone conclusion, but I can definitely see Minnesota getting a big emotional home win and then getting the brakes beat off of them in Dallas for Game 6.
you know how it goes though, man. When it comes to momentum, like they could win
Mhm.
tonight, and then knowing in their mind all they need is one game to get it back home.
Yeah.
That right there, like that's dangerous. So Dallas needs to close this series out tonight. They really do. You
Mhm.
don't want a team like Minnesota getting confidence. We've seen what they're like when they're playing with full confidence.
Mhm.
It'll be wise of Dallas to close this series out tonight. But I don't see it, man. Like I said, I think they'll give their fans something to cheer for tonight, man.
Yeah. I th- I think that Anthony Edwards is actually underrated. when it comes to how much he's grown in terms of his mentality and his leadership of the team. When you hear him talk in these press conferences, he's always very positive, very upbeat. And you know that he's going to lay it all out there on the court. I think that's one of those intangibles that makes a difference between good players and great players. And
Absolutely. I
he's
agree with that
he's
100%.
definitely shown that in this. He has there's an immense amount of pressure and spotlight that's been on him that he's never had before. And he has responded swimmingly to all of it.
Yeah. I agree with that 100%, especially when you said that definitely separates the good players from the great players. Mentality. That's why any player you see me like champion like that, I like them more for their mentality than their actual game. I think because that means more to me when it comes down to these big games and these big moments.
Yep, absolutely.
So yeah, shout out to Anthony Edwards. I give him shit. I give Anthony Edwards a lot of shit, man. Just off the Michael Jordan compare. Like I just don't like it. I don't like it. I like his game though. I really do.
That's hilarious.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't want nobody to misconstrue my feelings, man. Like it's not him.
I get it. It's not the Cowboys, it's the Cowboys fans. Well, for you, it's the Cowboys, but for most
it's
people, it's
all
the
them.
Cowboys.
It's the stadium, it's the cheerleaders, it's the Cowboys, it's
Damn,
the team
you hate the
shop.
cheerleaders?
Yeah, the team shop, the haircuts.
They got some of the finest cheerleaders in the whole league, man.
Dak Prescott's hairline is like a fucking isthmus. Like I don't like none of
it. Keep the cheerleaders out of it, man. The cheerleaders ain't do nothing.
Nah, they on that side. You heard?
They the ops.
They the
ops. I don't care how fine they are. They still the ops.
Yeah. Get them out of here. Pack them up.
Yeah, but so side note for the cheerleaders, I told you we toured the stadium and we went to the cheerleaders locker room and they have their pictures on top of their things. Listen, ain't none of them girls below an 8. All of them girls is gorgeous, fine. And you may say, oh, because they're cheerleaders, dude. The Jaguars cheerleaders, they are not the same caliber. They do not stack up to them Dallas cheerleaders, man. Them women are fine. Anyway,
they sixes off automatically just for being Cowboys.
Oh man, the hate is strong with this one. Oh my god,
they sixes off top. Like we don't fuck with no ops around here.
Oh man, it's so funny.
Yeah, man. So, and I think that's part of the reason, man. I don't really like the Mavs. Maybe it's a Dallas thing. I don't know. I don't have no beef. Like I don't have no beef against the city. Like I don't dislike Dallas. I've been there. I actually enjoyed my time in Dallas whenever I'm there.
Yeah,
but it's just the Cowboys, man. That stain. It's just hard to remove that stain, man.
Well, I went to Dallas for the first time for the Eclipse last month. We had a great time. It's an amazing city. I've been rocking with Mark Cuban really since the beginning of his ownership.
That's what
I have
it is.
a
I
ton
like
of
Mark
respect
Cuban.
for him. Yeah, I have a ton of respect for him, even though I think he sold a big portion of the team to one of the local billionaires there. But I've always rocked with Cuban. So the Mavs have always been one of those teams that I've had an affinity for because of Cuban. So
yeah, I like Mark Cuban, man. He's a cool dude, good businessman, obviously. But just don't champion the Cowboys, man. Because they ain't winning no championship.
This ain't even a right sport. Let's move. Let's get on.
Once hey man, you know how it go, man. Once you get me started with the Cowboys, like all bets is off. Like we could turn this shit to an NFL stream right now. I mean,
man.
But hopefully Minnesota get it done. I want to see more basketball just because, man. Like I don't want this long ass break in between the conference final. Like, the damn finals don't start till June 6th. Like, come on, what we gonna do?
Right.
Give me a couple more games, man. But yeah,
I understand. It's been exciting, like watching these games, and they've all been closely contested. There really haven't been any big blowouts or anything like really in either series. Or really, I think except for one game in the Boston series. These have been hotly contested games. Is going down to the final minutes.
Yeah.
So what that means is you have evenly matched teams, right? If every game is going down to the
Yes.
last 2 minutes, the last couple possessions, you have evenly matched teams.
Yes.
So the team that executes the best in those last 2 minutes is going to win the game.
Yep.
And Dallas has shown that they can do that more consistently than Minnesota
Man.
has, which is why they have a lead. So Minnesota's going to have to out execute Dallas 3 games in a row to win this series. That's what it's going to take.
Absolutely.
So
I made a point in that. Yeah, that Dallas, those first 3 games, it felt like the last 3-4 minutes of the game, it felt like them niggas didn't miss a shot. Like it was
yeah,
just like one after another. I'm like, damn, you can't beat that.
right, yeah.
But
So yeah, so we'll see, man.
we'll see. Let's go Wolves for the night.
All right.
On to the next. I know you had some thoughts about Bronny James, so I'm gonna give you the floor and let you cook on that.
Yeah.
Um, I know I've been hearing reports about him turning down workouts with teams, and this is like the most crazy shit because he's a fringe prospect. So I know you wanted to cook on this, so I'm gonna
Yeah.
let you cook.
So I am. So first of all, with Bronny, I will admit I have not been following his career very closely. I did not watch him play in college at all. I didn't watch him play in high school at all. So I know that I have a limited experience with this player, right? So I'm strictly going off of the numbers. And his career at USC was not great. Now he was coming off of that freak cardiac arrest he had over the summer where he almost died. He actually did die, and they resuscitated him on the court, which
Mhm.
that's the craziest shit ever, right?
Right.
You know, but he was able to come back from that and rejoin the team and played most of the season for USC. I think that at USC he played 20 minutes per game. He averaged 5 points a game in 20 minutes played across 25 games. USC was below 500. So they were not. He was a below average player on a below average team, right? So I'm like, well, my first thought about that was he's not the only player that's had lackluster performances in college and wound up being a great NBA player, right? I found this article on the internet where they named 5 players that had similar stats in their freshman year to what Bronny had. They named Russell Westbrook. He averaged like 3 or 4 points a game his freshman year. Draymond Green, 3-4 points a game. Jimmy
Mhm.
Butler, like 4 or 5 points a game. John Stockton, 3.7, I think. Then Devin Booker. Now, the difference between, or as we say in Alabama, the dim tween all of these players, most of these players, and Bronny, is that most of these players, if not all of them, stayed in college and developed and had better seasons over time. So we had an opportunity to see their development in college. Now, I don't know for sure if Devin came out after his first year or not. So I didn't look that up ahead of time. But I'm
Mhm.
positive that Russ, Draymond, Jimmy, and John Stockton played more than 1 year of college.
Mhm.
Now, in that list, you got a current Hall of Famer, a former MVP, and probably all of these guys, except for probably Draymond, are going to be first ballot Hall of Famers. So, I mean
Shit,
that,
Draymond might be one too. He might be a first
yeah,
ballot too.
yeah. I mean, yeah, it would not surprise me. But Russ is a lock for first ballot. Jimmy's
Yeah.
a lock for first ballot. Devin, I think, is very close, even at this stage, is really being a lock for first ballot, right? John Stockton's already in, all-time
Mhm.
leader in steals and assists. But also, Draymond played for Michigan State, which has been perennially a great team. Jimmy played for, I think he came out of Marquette.
Marquette. Yep.
Um, Devin Booker played for Kentucky, so you
Kentucky.
already know like what that was. And then Russ played, I think, UCLA.
UCLA. Yep.
So it's kind of mixed there. Now, when all the news with Bronny first came out, it made me think about Kyrie because Kyrie had the injury early in his career. Oh, actually, yeah, he had the injury early in the season at his one season at Duke. Then he came back the last few games and played out the last few games, and then and then the the postseason. So I was
Mhm.
like, well, what was Kyrie's numbers? Kyrie only started 8 games, but he averaged 27 minutes a game, 17 and a half points on 53% field goal. Like
Crazy.
Kyrie was cooking. They
Crazy.
want Duke was 32-5 that year. They won an ACC championship, lost in the Sweet 16 to Arizona, where Kyrie led all scorers with 28 points.
Crazy.
So even with that truncated season, it was very obvious that we had a superstar on our hands, right? So there was no questioning that. So what does all that mean? Well, it means that I think a lot of this is wait and see as far as Bronny is concerned. I don't think that he's only 19 years old. I'm not ready to call him a complete bust, nor am I ready to call him like a great superstar. I think it's very much we need more data. Now, having said that, a player, and I think that's an optimistic take of Bronny is let's see what this kid can do.
Mhm.
But if the most optimistic take is let's see what this kid can do, it makes zero sense for that kid to turn down opportunities to work out for teams. Right? Like that, like now again, I don't want to be too hard on Bronny because he's 19 years old, and I know that I was a complete idiot when I was 19. I don't know about you, but I know that I
Oh
was a
no,
complete moron.
no question about it. Like I will argue with nobody and say I was mature. Like
So I don't I'm not gonna put all this on Bronny because you're so impressionable at that age and you're gonna rely heavily on the counseling that you're getting. So, and I don't know how much. Well, I was going to say I don't know how much his dad's influenced in this. We know LeBron is all up in that, um,
fingerprints all over it.
all over it. Um, so, but I think that you have to really consider when you're declining a workout for a team, what are you doing, right? What is the upside to not work out for, let's just say, the Pacers? What's
Mhm.
the upside to not working out for the Orlando Magic, right? The only possible upside is you are basically forcing the league to drive you towards a team that you want to play for. This was akin to all of the drama around Eli Manning when he got drafted.
Mhm.
And I don't want to go to the Chargers. And his dad was saying, we don't want to play for the Chargers. And the Chargers
Right.
end up drafting him number one. And then they basically, I mean, basically, raped New York to get his draft rights, right? To get that to switch and get Phillip Rivers instead, right? So, um, but the thing is, like, he was a number one draft pick. He was the number one prospect in
Right.
in all of college. So he had leverage to be able to steer and finagle that situation, right?
Mhm.
Bronny doesn't have any leverage, right? I mean, he has his dad, but his dad is not gonna suit up for the team that drafts him, right? Unless, like we talked about last week, a team drafts him with the hopes of baiting LeBron to go to that team.
That's that's
Um,
that's the hopes.
that's dumb, but I mean, we've seen a lot of GMs do a lot of dumb shit in every sport recently.
Mhm.
Um, so I guess I can't put that past a team. But if this is some type of power play that Bronny's trying to do to force his way into a specific group of like the Lakers and Suns, I think is only teams he said he would work out for. I mean, more power to him. Um, I think that when your father is as great as he is and as delusional as he is, of course that's gonna trickle down to you, especially if that's the primary person that's in your ear giving you counsel. So it is what it is. I don't think this is going to end well for Bronny. I still think the Lakers will draft him, or he's going to end up on the Lakers, like signing a free agent contract or something. I think he's still going to
Mhm.
end up there. Especially now with this move, like if this discourages pretty much any other team from taking a second look at him. Like if I'm a GM of any other of the Magic, let's say, why would I want to waste a draft pick on someone that basically like gave us a middle finger, right? Like you disrespecting the franchise before you even get drafted, right?
He threw all his chips in the middle of the table.
Yeah. But you average 5 points a game, bro. Like this is not you ain't Kyrie Irving. You know what I'm saying? You're not Russell Westbrook. You're not Jimmy Butler. You haven't shown any upside beyond your freshman year that's worth us, taking a gamble on you. So yeah, I think that it's unfortunate that he's following this path, but I think a lot of it has to do with he doesn't need the money. I think that's the other thing we need to
Mm-hmm.
consider. He's
Yeah.
going to move differently because he doesn't need the money.
Right.
We see similar moves being made by Marvin Harrison Jr. The stuff that he's doing where he didn't sign. I read he didn't sign a part of his NFLPA contract, which means that basically you his jersey can't go up for sale because he didn't sign
Damn.
the deal to where he could like get his rights trademarked and stuff. So right now NFL can't sell his jerseys because he didn't sign, because he's trying to negotiate to get a better deal for whatever those naming rights are. So again, similar power plays being made, but he was the number 4 draft pick. He was
Right. Yeah.
the first non-quarterback to come off the
Right.
so
Best receiver in the draft.
yeah, so you got leverage. Plus, you don't need the money because your dad is your dad, right? So,
Yeah.
but yeah, Bronny's following his dad's footsteps, but nowhere near as good. So we'll see how it plays out.
Correct. Well, first I want to say we rate the Chargers because we won Super Bowls. That's the first thing I want to say.
you was not gonna let that slide.
We
I
won
meant
that trade.
that deal was not a good deal on paper for the Chargers. It
For
worked out.
them.
It worked out later.
Yeah, I just had to throw that in. Giant shit over here. I mean, New York Giants, man, favorite team in sports. But yeah, you're right though. You definitely move different when your pops is a billionaire. This is not going to financially change your life. So he's doing exactly what he wants to do. Literally, he's literally doing what he wants to do. Because we've never seen anybody, unless you're like a top 5 pick, top 5 projected pick, turn down workouts. That just doesn't happen. These guys, I watch all these podcasts with these former NBA players, and they talk about the whole process leading up to the draft. And they're trying to get as many workouts as possible. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to get as many eyes on them as possible, and as many organizations interested in them as possible.
Yep.
So yeah, that's unheard of for a guy who's projected. He was originally projected to go undrafted. We talking about a guy who was projected to go undrafted and is creeped up into the second round or so, and turning down workouts. That is uncharted territory. That's never happened. It probably will never happen again, unless Michael Jordan's grandson or some shit like, or you know what I'm saying? Like that's unheard of. You know what I'm saying? And that was the first thing I thought of when I saw it. I was like, what? And like, your first reaction, who the hell he think he is? Oh yeah, he LeBron James Jr. He can pretty much do what he want around this motherfucker. Ain't nobody can't say nothing. So, I understand it from his standpoint. He don't really care.
Right.
He knows he's going to the league. By hook or by crook, he's going to the league.
Yep.
Even if he didn't get drafted, he's going to be brought on into one of these camps, probably the Lakers camp. Get to work out, try out for the team, all that. Like, he's going to be in the NBA one way or another. And I agree with you. I do think the Lakers will take a flyer on him. Now, whether that is in the first round or the second round, that remains to be seen. But I do think that's where he'll end up. Now, what I'm trying to figure out is, what's the significance with Phoenix? Like, what's the story behind that?
I don't know. I haven't seen anything on it. If I had to speculate, I would assume that Phoenix, first of all, Phoenix has great weather. So you can never like discount that. So Phoenix has great weather. It's relatively close to where his home is in LA. It's a playoff team, where he'll have an opportunity to play behind, Devin Booker and them. So that's my thoughts on it. There's probably some other connection I'm not thinking about.
And that's crazy because nobody cares about fit or anything. It's just Phoenix. Phoenix is guard heavy as hell. Like, when is he gonna even see the court?
I don't know. I don't know, bro. I got
Like,
nothing.
it just
Ev-
doesn't make sense.
To me, I think the Warriors would be a better destination
Yeah.
for him if he's picking a team,
At least they got
opposed
some
to
kind of like
Frontier.
backup spots open. They got Projemski, but I mean, Bronny could battle with him. It makes
Yeah,
more sense than going over there playing behind Booker, Grayson Allen, and Brad Beal, and like that depth at their guard position is not going to lend him to getting minutes. It's not going to happen.
yeah. They definitely don't need any more undersized guards. That,
No,
that is not.
at all. That's probably the
That's not
worst
needed.
fit possible for him in the league. Like, what are we talking about? Phoenix. I'm like, where the hell did Phoenix come from? I saw that.
Yeah,
And I was
I
like,
don't
what
know.
the hell is this?
I don't know. That's the other part though. Is if you're if you're if you have dreams of playing in the NBA and you're under 6'4", you have to be
Electric.
top 10 in the league at something. At
Yeah.
something, right?
Yep.
So even if you pick somebody like Mike Conley is an elite floor general.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Conley is a terrific prototypical point guard that runs the offense, sets people up.
Yep.
Like he is the cog in the wheel that keeps things going, which is why he's enjoyed the length of the career that he's had, because he's
Mm-hmm.
very serviceable, right?
Minimal mistakes,
Right.
steady.
Just plays very consistent. Even
Mm-hmm.
he's not going to turn the ball over in clutch moments. He's going to make
Yep.
the right plays at the right time. He's going to make all your superstars shine, get easy baskets for people. That's prototypical point guard play, and Mike
Mm-hmm.
Conley has always been good at doing that, which is why he's 56 years old and still playing point guard, right? So, you think about it, all of the current NBA players are under 6'4". All of them are either elite scorers, they're
Mm-hmm.
elite shooters, they're elite leaders on in their position, or they're elite on defense,
Elite
right?
something.
You got to be like top, like all NBA, like elite at one of those categories
Yep.
if you're going to be that size.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, if you're 6'11" with a long wingspan but not great offense, you can be a Rudy Gobert and win defensive player of the year 27 times and get paid 40 million a year, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to necessarily be elite at all these different things when you're that
Right.
size. You can be Zubac with the Clippers, not a particularly great offensive player, but a big body, good footwork, plays good defense,
Rebounder.
but
Yep.
he's 270 pounds, right? You
Right.
can't teach that. So he doesn't have to be elite in any one category to have a steady job because of
His
his
physical
size, the position
traits.
he plays, the physical
Right.
traits, right?
Mm-hmm.
But 6'2", you like built like Kyle Lowry. Like, bro, that's all. First of all, I don't even trust
Oh
that.
my God.
I don't trust your build. I don't trust that Kyle Lowry build. I
Built like a
just
bag of laundry and shit. Like,
I don't trust it. You can't be a super muscular 6'2" guard. Like this, that is not what we want.
yeah, that's facts.
You
Yeah.
need to be skinny. You got to be skinny. You got to be like Steph Curry skinny, Allen Iverson skinny. You gotta be skinny. You can't be all buff and muscular 6'2" playing point guard. That's not gonna work.
Steph done bulked up a little bit though. Steph done
Well,
got
yeah,
big.
he put on weight afterwards, but we know
Yeah,
when
he
the
came in the
league is
league to stick.
when it's
Yeah.
over with, all this stuff is over with, he don't work out as much. He gonna be a rail. Like we all know that. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's just who you are, right? You'll probably have a little pot belly like your dad do now. That's gonna be it though. That's gonna be it. Because you old now, so you can do anything. So
Yeah. That's all. Yeah. That's you got to be elite at something. That's basically the moral of the story. And
right.
that's just like what's the guy? Avery Bradley. Remember Avery Bradley? I
Oh
think
yeah.
he was under 6'4", but he was a tremendous defender. So that was his calling card in the NBA.
Yeah. Tremendous defender. Again, floor general, right?
Mm-hmm.
Making the big shots at the right time, setting up Tim Duncan and all those other guys, like just prototypical elite point guard play.
Yeah, so that's and Bronny, I don't know. He's known as a very good defender. We'll see how that translates to NBA guards. Uh, that's a whole nother story when you're guarding the best guards in the world. We'll see how that defensive thing translates.
I don't know what his foot speed is like. I can't comment on it because I didn't watch him play. But if you got to be able to stay in front of these point guards in order to be an elite defender against them, right? I don't
What I
care
will
how good
say,
your shot blocking is.
yeah, right, right. What I will say is he is a pretty good athlete. Now, I will
Mhm,
give him that. He's a pretty good athlete, especially
yeah.
for his size.
Hmm.
But we're just gonna have to see, man. And I don't know if the intangibles are there, man. You know, I listened to Gilbert Arenas. He said he trained him some years or whatever,
Hmm.
and he said Bronny has it. I don't know if he's
Yeah.
on the clutch payroll. I don't know if it's legit. I don't know if I don't know. Like you just
Right.
never know what to believe from these players who are possibly friends with LeBron James. So
Yeah. That's true.
you you don't know. So I don't know. We're just gonna have to wait and see.
Yeah.
But as an aside, we was talking about Mike Conley. Did you know Mike
Mhm.
Conley in his entire career doesn't have one technical foul?
Wow. That's like
I,
a Joe Dumars stat.
I saw that stat the other day, and I was like, damn, like that's got to be a typo. Ain't no way in hell. I looked it up. It's true, man. Like this nigga's played 17 years in the league and doesn't have any techs, like not one.
Wow. Yeah, that's great. That's a throwback. That's like Joe Dumars. That's like Mark Price. I think Mark Price only got 2 techs in his whole career and they were in the same game.
That's crazy.
Um yeah, that's amazing. But see again, it speaks to his sportsmanship,
Hmm.
dedication to his craft, all that stuff. So
Level headed, man. That's a guy you want
yep,
running your team for real.
yep, absolutely.
The game is actually on right now. Dallas 16, Minnesota 12.
All right.
You know, they look like they're getting off to a slow start, but plenty of game left, first quarter.
Hmm. Yep.
I don't know if you saw or not. So, you know, we're gonna transition into this real quick. I don't know
All
if
right.
you saw my last video I did. It was a Caitlin Clark Angel Reese video.
Hmm. Yep. Yep.
Um the, the views was pretty good, like in comparison. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Um
Hmm.
I'm starting to realize that this isn't about basketball. I kind of knew that already, but this really isn't about basketball.
Hmm.
It's just about narratives. It's just about who can be right. It's not about watching the game. It's not about analyzing the game, assessing the player. It's not about whether this player had a good game or none of that matters. It's just about what people want to happen and what they want to see.
Hmm. Yep.
So that and it makes you feel crazy from the like it you go back and forth with these people and you start thinking like for what?
Hmm. Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
your mind is already made up. It doesn't matter what the person does in the game. It's just gonna be, well, they didn't do this, or well, they didn't do that.
Mhm.
I got into it with a nigga yesterday. This nigga said the media treated Caitlin Clark like she all world, so I'm expecting her to be all world. Well, I'm like, my nigga, was she not an all world college basketball player?
What
So
more
he
do
was
you
like,
want? All-time
"Right,
scoring leader in
but this is
any division.
right, but this is his angle. Well, she ain't win shit. And for those people that say that, that is exactly why I made that video that I made. It's
Yeah.
exactly the reason why I made that video, posting the
Mhm.
talent disparity between a program like women's LSU women's college basketball and Iowa women's college basketball.
Mhm. Yep.
It's not even close. The type of recruits, the resource, it's not a level playing field. So for her to even be as successful as she was on that team and for that team is incredible within itself. That was the point of the video
Mhm.
to
Yep.
to illustrate that. And then you get people, well, she ain't doing it now. I'm like, she's 8 games into her fucking career. Like if we
Right.
judged, and this is what I told them, if we judged every legendary player by what they did the first 8 games of their career, there probably would be 5 niggas who are considered legendary basketball
Right.
players today.
Right. Exactly.
So what are
Exactly.
we talking about? Are we gonna let careers play out, or are we just gonna go with whatever y'all want to happen? Like,
Mhm. Yeah.
so that's what let me know this shit is really not even about basketball anymore. It's just like, I don't know. It's just crazy, man.
Yeah, I think race plays into this a lot more than it should.
heavily,
Um,
heavily. I got told I don't like black women. You can't believe that shit? I don't like black women.
you got 4 babies by one. What you mean, bro?
Like
Um,
you
yeah.
can't say she could hoop. You can't say she could hoop. You don't like black women. Like I said, she could hoop. I don't like black women. I'm defending the white girl. Like,
So 2 things I'm going to say that are tangentially related. The first one is um, when Obama was president. I was talking to somebody about this. When Obama was president, there were a lot of policies that he was pushing through that I did not agree with, but I felt obligated to defend him publicly because he was black. That was
mhm,
like a black guilt thing almost. And I felt like I had to kind of back him up because he was black and
mhm.
he's a brother trying to make it and we need to support the
I
brother. That
did too.
that
I voted for him
mentality.
2 times.
Yeah. So, and there are things that he did that I think were good, and there are things that I didn't like about that administration. But publicly, I got to defend him because he's black, right?
Right.
That's just how I felt. That was the pressure that I felt. And then I was talking to an old college buddy of mine last night, and he was talking about the black struggle, that typical thing with, the black struggle and disproportionate
Mhm,
housing and all this stuff. And what I told him was, we can't deny all of the disadvantages that our ancestors face, even as recently as the 70s and 80s and 90s.
mhm,
But the blueprint for pulling yourself out of poverty into financial security is well known, is not a secret, and we've seen it happen. We've had plenty of examples of people of all races do this. And what I
mhm.
told my friend was, if black folks treated debt or saw debt the way that they saw white people, black folks would not complain about white people anymore. They wouldn't need to, because we would be financially secure. Right? So
Mhm.
so bringing it back to this, there is this pressure for black people specifically to kind of white knight for the pretty black girl, right? So that's where I think a lot of this is from. And there's this perception that, Caitlyn is a lily white girl from a mostly white state of Iowa. And so she has all this privilege and preferential treatment because she's a white girl from a white state. And they want to see
But
a white girl make it in a black league.
even if all that is true, cool. If you niggas feel like that, that's fine. I've been around niggas my whole life, so I know how niggas think. I
Right.
get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand. But don't discredit the work, is all I'm
Mhm.
saying.
Right.
When somebody holds, I'm talking about records that been in the books for 40 plus years. When somebody's breaking those type of records, kicking
Right.
ass and taking names,
Hmm.
and then you just equate that, oh, she's only getting this attention because she white.
Right. Right.
Like, it's gotta be. Breonna Stewart is the MVP of the WNBA right now. Who the hell cares about Breonna Stewart? She white.
Right.
Nobody
Yeah.
cares. Like,
Yeah.
so it
You
has to
see,
be something more than just she's white.
first of all, the people who are making these arguments, they have no idea who the WNBA reigning MVP is. They don't know who won the championship in WNBA last year. They probably don't even know who won the women's college basketball championship this year. Like, these are
Right.
not facts that are going to be well known to most of the people who are making these arguments, because
Mhm.
they don't actually watch the sport. They're not, so they're not informed about the dynamics and the nuance of what's happening. What they see is, they read headlines, they see pictures, and they say, oh well, they hyping up this white girl, she ain't shit, and so. But
And I don't have
Caitlyn
no
didn't get
problem.
kicked off the team because she had a bad attitude. That wasn't Caitlyn, right? That was the other one.
I don't have a problem with them supporting Angel Reese either. Like, I don't
Right.
have a problem with it. But stop trying to make somebody seem like it's them that's moving the needle as opposed to the person that made them famous in the first place. It's just like
Hmm.
I described in the video. Angel Reese in her junior year was flat out hooping. Like, I'm talking about
Hmm.
killing motherfucker every game. She 23 and 15. That's what
Hmm.
she averaging. I'm talking about the whole season. You didn't hear a peep about Angel Reese that entire year. It wasn't until Caitlin Clark waved the hands in Haley Van List's face, and then in the championship, after LSU secured the games, who I called Angel Reese a front runner in the first place, she'd start talking shit after the game was already decided. She did the thing in Caitlin's face. That set off the cultural war, the race thing, whatever niggas is talking about, all the race shit. That's when that really started, and that sent Angel Reese fame level to new heights because naturally black women gonna support it. Yeah, she showed that white bitch, and
Right.
you know, niggas gonna support. So I understand it, but don't act like that's not where it came from, because you niggas didn't give a fuck when Angel Reese was really balling like that for real in her junior year.
Right. And again, none of these people know what team Angel plays for. They don't know. They can't tell you. So the next time people get in your face and say, what team does Angel play for? Don't look it up. Just tell me what team she plays for. They can't tell you because they don't actually care about her. They just using her as a
She's the
way to
cog,
forward an argument. Yeah. She's a token that you're using. She's a pawn on the board of the chess game that you're trying to play. You don't actually care about her.
right?
You care about how you can utilize who she is to prove your narrative and push your argument forward. And honestly, like when I meet people like that, I'm just like, you just need to like something is wrong with you. Like, either you must work a shitty job where you constantly broke, you don't get bitches. Like something must be
Something.
wrong in your life to where you are dedicating so much time and effort to tear down the best college basketball player in women's basketball history. Like,
I just
like
never
it's not. This
understood.
is not a debate. She is the best in women's basketball history. It's not a debate, right? It's
The first thing they're gonna tell you about that, well, she ain't win. I can't tell. I can't tell she ain't win.
Larry Bird ain't win shit either, and in college. But let me tell you, try to convince anybody who really knows basketball that Larry Bird ain't one of the goats. Right? Try to convince somebody that really know basketball that Larry Bird ain't on the Mount Rushmore of greatest basketball players of all time. Like,
But that is exactly why I painted the picture I painted in that video. Like,
yeah,
y'all don't care about nothing outside of what y'all false narrative is. You don't care about the teammates that's on the team that's contributing to the wins. You don't care about the coaching. You don't care about none of the shit that goes into winning basketball games. It takes more than one player to win basketball games. I know Michael Jordan made that whole thing kind of like famous for people giving credit to the star player. That's kind of where it started.
Yep.
But like these days, it's taken on a whole new light. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's ridiculous, man. Like it's crazy. Like, I've never seen so many people care like game to game. Like, it could be the second or third game of the regular season. If you have a bad game in that game, you ain't shit. Like, it's like we don't even care about the importance of the game. It's just you lost and you ain't shit and you ain't this and you ain't that. Like, I told niggas I'm really done having conversations about sports with niggas. Like, if you want to have a conversation with me about sports, you bring your ass on here.
Yeah.
We could
Come on the
debate
show.
without you using your phone, and we could just go. We could see how quick you are on your draw. You know what I'm saying? Like, but
Yeah.
as far as like the online typing back and forth shit, I'm pretty much done with that.
Well, I did. The one guy that commented to you on Facebook the other day, I invited him to the show. I was like, hey man, sound like we got a guest for the show. Come on out.
Them niggas
you
ain't
know?
gonna do it. They ain't gonna do it because they don't know shit about the sport. They don't really be knowing. It's just a whole bunch of feelings shit, man.
Yeah. And I want to point out something that if people who watch the show, I want to point out something about me. You can look back at all the shows that we've done. You will not catch me going in depth about something that I don't know about or that I didn't watch, right? Anytime that we start talking about a conference, like we start talking about Bronny, I'm like, I did not watch him in high school. I did not watch him in college. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
not going to pretend like I can have a take or an educated opinion
Right.
on, I can't evaluate his play because I didn't watch him. All I have is his stats. And
Right.
it's unfair of me to rate how good of a player he was
Right.
just looking at numbers on a piece of paper. right?
Right.
But what I can do is draw comparisons,
Mm-hmm.
which is what I did. But you're not going to hear me say, "Well, I don't think based on Bronny play, I don't think he's that good of a player." I haven't seen the boy
Right.
play,
There's
right?
ways to frame your argument, basically, is what he's
Right,
saying. Like, don't just jump out the window with shit that
right.
you have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, and which is why I said, "Hey, let's wait and see. We don't have enough data. Let's give the kid a chance. Let's see what he got. He might be the next Russell Westbrook. We don't know. It's possible. The realm is in the realm of possibilities. Unlikely, but in the
Very
realm
unlikely.
of possibilities, right? So nobody thought that Kawhi Leonard would become the player that he is. Like
Mhm.
nobody saw that
Yeah,
coming.
San Diego State, I for sure didn't see that. Like, couldn't have
you
told me
know,
that.
Tom Brady. Nobody
No,
saw
hell
Tom Brady coming. Come on,
no.
man. And I'm a Michigan fan. Even
Yeah,
Michigan fans didn't see Tom Brady coming. So
no, not like that.
no, not like that. So
But yeah, this whole Caitlin Clark shit, I'm really like I'm at the pretty much the end of the arguments with niggas. Like, whatever, man. We're not even
it'll
gonna let.
all die down. It'll die down after this season because people will stop. The casual fans will stop caring about it, and she can just move on with her life.
Like man, it was another group. It's like a little Facebook group, like a sports group. I seen these
Mhm.
niggas compare Caitlin Clark. There was a picture, a side by side picture of Caitlin Clark and James Harden. So
What?
uh, I said, so we really gonna compare a nigga that's been in the league 16 years, has played with the best players in the league, continuously come up short in the professional ranks in the NBA. We gonna really compare that nigga to somebody who just played their seventh game.
Right, right.
Like, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing, man?
I
Like,
don't know.
and talk about some what a play style is similar. Well, first and foremost, it's not. Second of all, even if it was, you're not even giving her game time to develop to even know what type of play style she's gonna have 2, 3, 4 years from now. Like, you don't even
Yeah.
know. We
The
don't even
other
know how
part of
she'll
that
be
is
playing.
the James Harden that we know today. If you looked at him in his seventh or eighth game in the NBA, you wouldn't recognize him.
He didn't even start. What are we talking about?
So, like, yeah, exactly. What are we talking about? Um, yeah, I just the anonymity of social media is really what's to blame for all this because it is emboldened people to be able to say dumb shit on the internet without having to pay a consequence for it.
Oh my
Right.
god.
It actually rewards people to stir up and say dumb shit because if you stir up shit, you get more comments, you get more
Hmm.
engagement, you get more attention, and all these social media platforms care about is who's drawing attention. So it
Yep.
actually incentivizes people to say and do dumb shit so that they can get more attention.
It's like I was telling one today. We was texting or whatever. I was like, these
Mhm.
niggas just be like trying to debate. Like, I know Skip Bayless made debate culture popular in sports these days, but these niggas just be wanting to debate anything. Like, I can't
Yeah.
post shit on my page without niggas say, uh-uh. Like, what the fuck? Like, I don't want to debate you niggas all day. And if you want to debate like that for real, like I said, you can come on here. Like, I'm not about to be sitting here typing back and forth to you. I'm about done with that shit, like I said. But these niggas just want to debate. They just want to argue. I don't want to
Yeah.
argue with you.
Yeah.
You think I just want to
Arguing
sit
for the
here and
sake of
argue back and
argument.
forth with you?
Yeah. Arguing for the sake of argument is not, first of all, if you a grown man and you just want to argue with people on the internet for the sake of arguing, that lets me know right there you don't have no bitches. Because if you had a long listen now, Justin, I've been no. So for those who don't know, I've been married to Justin's sister coming up on 15 years in September. You've been with Kanzi many years.
Yeah,
If
long
you
time.
listen, if you just have a need to start to have an argument, you ain't got to go on the internet. You just go in. All you gotta do is go in the room and say one thing, and you already know the one thing you say is gonna set her off.
Yep.
So grown men that are in relationships that have women that love them, we don't have a need to go on the internet and
Yeah,
argue with people. I can argue in my own house. I don't
right. I'm
I
not
don't need
arguing
you
with
for
you, nigga.
this. Because
And you know
I
what's
can go.
wild?
Yeah,
What's
go
even
ahead.
wilder than that is I don't even me and my lady don't even argue. That's how cold this shit is. Like, so I'm gonna do something with y'all that I don't even do
Right,
with my damn woman. Like, we don't even argue.
right. So it's like that lets me know you a grown man arguing with other grown men on the internet. Like go get some bitches. Like, go ahead, get a like, go get a side hustle, go make some money. Like, go do something productive with your life, right? Instead of being on the internet arguing with people with your thumbs. How you gonna argue with your thumbs? Hey,
It's like,
what kind
yo,
of sense does that make?
and these niggas draw me in every time. I'm like, well, I get like my third response in. I'll be like, what the fuck? Like, why am I even doing this? What am I doing? I'm almost
how, do,
40. Like
how
I'm
does
37 years old.
how does the quote go? It says, never argue with the fool because they'll drag you down to their level and beat
And
you at your
win
own.
with experience.
Yeah, win with experience. Yep, that's what it is.
Facts though. Like, come on, man. And I've been realizing it's been lately. Like, I don't know what the hell. I don't know what's going on, but niggas just been wanting to argue with me in particular. I don't
Yeah.
know. Maybe they just know. I don't know. Maybe they want to challenge themselves or
No
I
bitches,
don't
man. No bitches.
that. Yeah, no bitches, man.
No
I need to
bitches.
step y'all shit up, man. Like,
This is y'all have to get off all this incel shit and go out and like find somebody that loves you, man. Just
yeah.
it's all
What
right. It's
Jim
not that
Carrey
hard.
said on Cable Guy, don't you want somebody to love? Like, get your ass out of here and find somebody
Yeah,
to
man.
love, man. Like
Yeah,
y'all
there
niggas be
you go.
playing on this internet. I can't stand it. And I send the fucking invitation out every single week, man. If you niggas want to have a conversation about anything sports related, man, we here or anything else, whatever. But
Right.
let's do it here.
Yeah.
I don't want to sit there and type with you, man. Like through your horrible ass takes that I gotta tell you. And you know the shit horrible. You just put the shit up there just for the clicks, just for the attention. And I'm guilty because I fall into the damn trap. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, just don't argue with your thumbs.
yeah.
That's the title of this video. Don't argue with your thumbs.
And I told them niggas up there, I say, yeah, I'm just gonna start saying okay, and yeah, you right. You right.
Yeah,
Like the
pictures all
whole Larry Bird Luca shit. Like Luca's better than Larry Bird right now and all this shit. I'm like, yeah, okay.
man.
Cool.
Why they want to shit on white people from the Midwest? What did they ever do to you?
I don't know, man. Shit is pitiful. It's pitiful, bro. It's pitiful, man. Like
You know
white
what's
people can't
funny?
be nice. I guess they can't be nice. And you know what's even crazier than all this shit, man? Like you know how many years I spent. I'm talking about supporting black,
Mhm.
bigging up black. All my conversation, I was the nigga they came to like, yo, here you go with this black shit again. Like, I got songs. I got
Yeah,
so
yeah,
much shit uplifting niggas. Like
right.
the
Yep.
moment I say the white girl could hoop, I don't like black women. You can't make this shit up. You can't make it up, man. I was
Oh, that's
I was like,
hilarious.
I was CTX. I wasn't Malcolm X. I was CTX. Like had the shirt and all that. Like it was me. Like I'm the nigga who speak up for black people. Now all of a sudden I don't like black women because I said Caitlin Clark or who. And this be coming from niggas that don't even know you, don't know your background, don't know what you've been through.
Yeah.
Nothing. Like just you don't like black women because you like that white bitch. It's because I said she nice.
Just because I said that she could play. Okay. All right.
Crazy. But yeah, man. I
Yes.
digress.
It's I don't know. That's a whole nother we can talk for a whole nother hour about the whole black loyalty and lifting
Ain't
each other
nobody.
up and all that.
It's been very few niggas who've been more loyal to me than me to black people. Like niggas like tune me out. I used to talk so much shit. Like, yeah,
Yeah, I think so. Part of what I realized is, so I grew up like most black people grew up in neighborhoods with almost all black people, right?
mm-hmm,
So when you grow up like that, you just accept certain things to be part of black culture. You just accept that, okay, this is just the way that we do things.
mm-hmm,
But I was fortunate enough to go to a college. It was a HBCU, but I did a lot of crossover work with the white college that was in the same town. And so I became friends with white people. And what I
mm-hmm.
realized was these niggas is just like me. Right? They have a lot of the same struggles, a lot of the same issues. Um, you know, like I realized that I'm a lot more similar to these people who look differently from me than what I originally thought. Right. And a lot of the things that I was dealing with, the problems I was having, it's the same kind of problems that they were having. We all trying to get an education. We all
Mhm.
trying to get bitches. we all trying to like we all trying to get married, buy homes, have children, raise our children in safe neighborhoods, let them make sure they go to good schools. We're all trying to do that, right? All of us are. We all have similar goals. So anyway, I could talk for an hour about that. I'm just gonna leave that right there.
Yeah, I don't want niggas to cut out the bullshit, man. If you're gonna talk about something, be informed, do your due diligence, man. That's all.
Mhm.
That's all.
Yeah,
I don't ask for much. Like if like say they take this everybody's entitled to their own opinion shit way too serious. That is true, but it has to be some type of fact has to be some kind of fact supporting it.
yeah.
Some kind
You
of
know,
fact supporting it. I don't care what the hell it is, but some kind of fact to support your opinion.
yeah. It's You're always going to encounter people that want to pull you down. Like you can't. How dare you try to be great or stand out at something, right?
People hate confidence.
Yeah,
I heard
like
another white boy say that, by the way. Sean O'Malley said that. Like people just hate confidence. Like I don't know what it is.
it's a lot of it is insecurity, right? I don't I don't actually have the courage to attempt to do the things that you're doing. So instead, I'll take the easy way out and find criticism or try to poke holes in what you're doing because that's a lot easier than actually trying to
Mm-hmm.
uh, do it myself. And the crazy thing is, it is easier to love someone than to hate someone. It takes less effort to love a person than to hate a person.
Mm-hmm.
But it's at the same time, the payoff for showing love to somebody is not as good as the payoff that you get for showing hate to somebody. And so people just kind of follow their emotions. Um, but I think it's important to continue to make send out those invites, continue to ask people to come on the show
Mm-hmm.
and put their opinions out there on record for posterity and allow themselves to be exposed to the same criticism that they wanted to give you. Right?
Exactly.
You have to
That's the
continue
thing
to
nobody
extend
want to talk about.
it. Yeah,
It's a whole different thing when you get on here, put your voice on here, and it's audio. It's a whole different ball game, and I think people understand that. That's why they don't want to make that jump.
yeah. Well, or even like I'm willing to bet a lot of these people that are disagreeing with you probably aren't even really posting about anything interesting on their own pages, right? They're probably just sharing videos or uploading random content or random stuff, or probably
Mm-hmm.
not even posting. But the minute that you want to make a take on something, now they got a
Right.
target they can shoot at. Okay, well, why don't you take turn? Why don't you post something? You be the target that people shoot at you.
Right. Post your own thoughts, not a fucking meme, not something somebody else typed that you shared. What do
Right.
you think? Put it into your own words.
I blame church for this. I blame the black church. The black church was kind of the OG of groupthink and just go along with everybody
Mm-hmm.
else is doing. I blame the
Agreed.
church for this. And I'm a Christian. So before y'all give me comments, I've been saved 40 years. So I have earned my stripes, and I can say that black church has exacerbated this problem in our community.
I just want niggas to just have their own thoughts, man. Be clear and concise on your thoughts, like, and make the shit like something tangible, not some bullshit. Like
Right.
anybody can say anything,
Yep.
but make it work. Make what you have to say worth something. You probably can't even speak well. I don't even know if you can speak well enough to
Right.
make a point against me or whatever. Like I don't know because you're not coming on here and proving that. So
Yeah. Because I'm telling you right now, if you get on here, you start sounding like Kendra Perkins. I'm gonna roast the shit out you. Bam, out of the bayou.
oh my god, yeah, please don't do that. Or I just sit here and stare at you like this nigga's
How
not
does
serious.
how does Kendrick Perkins have a job? That's what
I
I'm
don't know.
trying to figure out. Like
I don't know,
how
man. He got pictures of somebody.
like you like what? I don't
Yeah,
know. You
he got he
he's
got he got pictures of the boss cheating or something. Like I don't know.
I don't know, man. It's probably some type of female executive that he's servicing well or something. I don't know, but I don't know, bro. But
They giving
why wo-
anybody a fucking
why
job.
did he get caught up in all the layoffs y'all did recently? Like
Right. He made the cut out of all the niggas. See, y'all fired Jalen Rose, who was better than Kendrick Perkins on the court and
Right.
as an analyst.
Right. Right.
Yeah, it don't make no
I think
sense.
his divorce from Molly has something to do with that, though.
Oh my god.
That's just me personally. I don't know. I don't know how amicable that split was, but I would not be surprised if his divorce from her has something to do with him getting cut.
I hope not.
But I mean,
But
it
you
is what
never
it
know,
is.
man. ESPN, they got a lot of scandalous shit going on over there. They
Yeah.
got a whole like series about it and all that.
Mhm. Yeah. But
But yeah, man. Long story short, man, y'all niggas gotta step y'all game up, man. Come on here, talk your
mhm.
shit, say what you gotta say, man. I mean, we here. We here.
We here.
I'm just sick of misinformation. Sick of all the bullshit. I'm not arguing with you niggas online no more. Pull up. Whatever.
Exactly.
But yeah, man, good show this week, Ben.
Yep. Yeah. Good stuff, man.
Absolutely, man. Damn, Minnesota down by 18.
Uh oh. Uh oh.
Yeah, second quarter. I mean, they got plenty of time, but it's not the start I was expecting from them for sure. But
Oh boy. Well, we'll see.
we'll
We
see, man. We're gonna get off
got
here
it.
and watch the rest of the game.
Must got
Uh,
bad cat tonight. We'll see.
Cat at the line right now.
All right. Well, yeah,
Anyway,
man.
yeah, another week, man. Fly Free Sports. Y'all, man, lock in, like, share, subscribe. You niggas who talking, bring your ass on the show and get
Mhm.
exposed.
Yep.
Come on. But yeah, man, we out of here.
Peace.
Yes, sir.